Ooh, welcome back everybody. It is another edition of New Guitar Day. And the first thing you'll notice, we have two guitars today. But we're going to open up this one first. And the first thing you'll notice is what a little box this is. So this is a miniature guitar. Not really, but it sort of is. This is a copy of a Rickenfaker. I think it's a 330, but I want to guess. But this is the John Lennon model, and it's I guess they call it a 3/4 size guitar. So I believe the scale length is like 20 inches, which makes it much smaller. I think Gibsons are like 24.5 and Fenders are 25.5. So yeah, you can definitely feel that this is a smaller guitar. It just made me curious. I was curious about it. So I thought I'd give it a whirl. I've heard some good things about these guitars, some not so good. For the record, I just want to note that the bags on these are torn. And the reason why they're torn is because when you try and force the guitar into the styrofoam coffin here, it puts undue pressure on the corner of the shroud, and so then the shroud rips. So I just want that to be known. If for some odd reason this guitar goes back, I want them to understand that that's not something that I did. And this guitar's got a gnarly looking seam right up the middle, which is really ugly. I don't know. Okay, so some interesting things to note. No plastic on this pickup, which tells me that someone likely has owned this guitar before. I'm going to have to be very careful in my brief playing. They do put the action incredibly high on these guitars. Yeah, there's still plastic on the pick guard. Now this guitar feels like it's got some issues. It's got some weirdness on the neck. Again, that seam is just butt ugly. I mean, they didn't even try to match that. So I don't know if this guitar's actually been held. It looks like there's fingerprints. So we're going to go plug it in and just see. The knobs are all over the place. That's usually an indicator if someone's played the guitar. It looks nice. It doesn't feel too incredibly small. But yeah, I'm just making those notes in case they want to see a video. I'm suspicious that this guitar has in fact been owned and played by somebody else. Not really sure. This is a Vicers, so I don't know if one company actually makes all of these and then they just sort of farm them out. And yeah, not really sure. But my biggest suspicion is the missing plastic on the pickups, because again, brand new guitars have plastic on the pickups and there's no plastic on the pickup. They also added the obligatory Rickenfaker truss rod cover. Well, that's interesting. So there is no spring in the okay. And I don't know how to do that, and I'm certainly not going to worry about it at this moment, because more than likely this is going to go back, just because I think that they sent me something that someone else owned. But we'll see. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. Well, this might be one of the quicker, although I guess I've had quicker reviews, but this guitar is a dud. And I'm not really sure why. It could be multiple things, but I've purchased over 100 guitars in the last 5 years, and I just don't seem to really have problems. Now again, I don't know why these import guitars insist. Can we see this here? The bridge is just incredibly high. Now I don't know if KGD, the other guitar maker. I don't know if Vicers and KGD and if they're all the same bunch, but yeah, this guitar just really has some incredibly big flaws on it, but it was unplayable. The G string, I don't know if there's a high fret here, I don't know if the neck's wacky. I don't want to fix it. I don't buy guitars to fix. Even inexpensive guitars, I don't mind doing a minor adjustment here or there, but it's not up to me to do a full setup. And whatever the problem with this guitar is, it also has, again, purely cosmetic, but the seam on the back of the guitar is terrible. And then there's a bunch of little dings here, which you're going to feel when you're playing. And they shouldn't be there. You know, it's called quality control. If someone didn't quite get it together, this should go back on the scrap heap. Don't send it to me and expect me to just put up with it. So, anyways, this one is going back. So, say goodbye. It's a pretty guitar. It feels fine. It doesn't feel too small for me, but again, I've played minis, so it's not like shockingly small, but I just don't even want to mess with it. So, I'm going to give it a wipe down. Again, like I pointed out, and if they want to see, there's no plastic protective covering on the neck pickup, and these two are like peeling off as we speak. It just tells me this guitar was in someone else's hands, and they sent it back, and the company didn't have enough class to at least price this less. I'm going to try another one. I'm going to try the KGD model without the Bigsby, because I don't really use or need or want the Bigsby. So I'm just going to wipe this down, because black guitars are notorious for showing every little touch that a person's had, and I don't want this guitar to have any reflection back for them to say that they didn't get back a guitar in actually better shape than I got it. Yeah, because I can definitely see that it's got some finger marks on it, on the chrome and the plastic, and yeah, this one just wasn't up to snuff. So, Vicers, you get a thumbs down. Anyways, we'll be back in a little while to review number 2.